Have you ever wondered who built the world we live in today? Some might say it was one man, a giant of engineering whose name was Isambard Kingdom Brunel. He was a man who dreamed in iron and steel, and whose vision shaped modern Britain and the world beyond. Brunel was born in 1806 into a world on the cusp of great change. His father, Sir Marc Brunel, was a famous French engineer himself, so perhaps engineering was in his blood. From a young age, Isambard showed incredible talent, learning geometry by the time he was 8. By the age of 20, he was already working as the chief assistant engineer on a project of massive scale, the Thames Tunnel. This wasn't just any tunnel. It was the first tunnel ever built under a navigable river. The project was incredibly dangerous. Twice, the tunnel flooded catastrophically. During the second flood, a young Isambard nearly lost his life while rescuing other workers, sustaining serious injuries that took him months to recover from. Despite the setbacks and the danger, the Thames Tunnel was eventually completed, a testament to the Brunel's persistence. Showed the world what was possible with bold engineering and new technology. After recovering, Brunel's career truly began to take off. Entered a competition to design a bridge across the Avon Gorge in Bristol. His initial designs were rejected. But Brunel was not a man who gave up easily. He refined his plans, submitted them again, and finally, his vision for the Clifton Suspension Bridge was chosen. It was an ambitious design, a suspension bridge with the longest span of any in the world at the time. Work began, but the project was plagued by money problems and political issues. The bridge would not be completed in his lifetime. It stands today as a beautiful monument to his genius, finished as a tribute to him after his passing. While the bridge was a passion project, Brunel's greatest impact was arguably in the world of railways. He became the chief engineer for the Great Western Railway, or GWR, a line that would connect London to Bristol. Brunel had a vision for a railway that was better than any other. He didn't just want to build a track, he wanted to create the finest journey in the world. He made a controversial decision to use a broad gauge for his tracks. 7 feet wide, much wider than the standard gauge used by other railways. Brunel argued that the wider gauge would allow for bigger, faster, and more stable trains. He was right. Scientific analysis has since shown that broad gauge offers superior stability, especially at high speeds. His trains on the GWR were known for their smoothness and speed, often called Brunel's billiard table because the ride was so level. Passengers could travel at speeds unheard of at the time, sometimes reaching 60 miles per hour. Brunel didn't just design the tracks, he designed everything. He designed the grand stations like London Paddington with its soaring glass and iron roof. He designed the locomotives, designed the bridges and the tunnels needed to cross the landscape. One of his most famous structures for the GWR is the Box Tunnel in Wiltshire. It was a massive undertaking, nearly 2 miles long and cut through solid hill. For a time, it was the longest railway tunnel in the world. A surprising fact, or perhaps a legend, surrounds the Box Tunnel. It's said that Brunel designed it so that on his birthday, April 9th, the rising sun would shine directly through the entire length of the tunnel. While debated by historians, it speaks to the meticulous, almost artistic detail he put into his work. But Brunel's ambition did not stop at the land's edge. He saw his Great Western Railway not just as a line to Bristol, but as the first part of a journey to New York. He famously joked to his GWR directors, "Why not extend the line all the way to America?" He wasn't entirely joking. His plan was to build a fleet of steamships that would continue the journey from Bristol, creating a seamless transportation system from London to New York, all run by one company. His first ship was the Great Western, a wooden paddle steamer. At the time, many believed it was impossible for a ship to carry enough fuel to cross the Atlantic under its own steam power. A prominent scientist of the day declared it was as ridiculous as trying to fly to the moon. Brunel, using careful calculations, proved them wrong. The Great Western made its first voyage to New York in 1838, completing the journey in just 15 days, a record at the time. It proved that regular transatlantic steam travel was possible. But Brunel was already thinking bigger. His next ship, the Great Britain, was a revolution. Launched in 1843, she was the first large ocean-going vessel to be made of iron and to be powered by a screw propeller instead of paddle wheels. She was the largest ship in the world. The use of an iron hull and a screw propeller were groundbreaking innovations that would become the standard for all future shipbuilding. The Great Britain fundamentally changed marine engineering forever. After the success of the Great Britain, Brunel embarked on his most ambitious project of all, a ship so large it would dwarf everything that had come before it. He envisioned a vessel that could carry 4,000 passengers all the way to Australia and back without needing to refuel. This colossal ship was the Great Eastern. She was a monster of a ship, almost 700 feet long. She was 5 times larger than any other ship in the world. She was so big, she had to be powered by both paddle wheels and a screw propeller, driven by enormous engines. Building the Great Eastern was an immense struggle. The project was incredibly expensive and faced constant technical challenges. The sheer scale of it was something the world had never seen. The launch itself was a disaster, taking 3 months and a huge amount of money just to get the massive iron hull into the water. Tragically, Brunel would not live to see her first voyage. A tireless worker known for sleeping only a few hours a night and working constantly, his health finally gave way. He suffered a stroke on the deck of the Great Eastern just before her maiden voyage and passed away 10 days. Later in 1859, he was only 53. The Great Eastern never became the successful passenger liner Brunel dreamed of, but she found a different purpose. Her immense size made her the perfect vessel for laying the first successful transatlantic telegraph cable in 1866. This cable connected continents, allowing for near-instant communication across the ocean for the first time. In a way, Brunel's great ship helped to create the globally connected world we know today. Isambard Kingdom Brunel was more than just an engineer. He was a visionary, an artist, and a relentless innovator. His bridges, tunnels, and railways transformed Britain. His steamships conquered the oceans and connected the world. He was a man who saw the future and then had the genius and the sheer determination to build it. So was he the man who built the modern world? With a legacy of iron and steam that laid the foundations for our own time, the number of people who would agree is very high. I hope you enjoyed this look into the life of a true engineering giant. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Historical Repos for more stories from the past.